Want to show you just how fluid this system became. So we can put the images and the contents and the videos up on a site that has one template. Okay. Then we can decide later to update the template, get some new template. Remember this whole thing about we can come and get templates and set them up rapidly, right? So all these different templates, okay? And we can take any of them down and we can rework them for the front end and then put them up in the websites and they all have names. Let me show you what that means here in the back end. That means, say I took a bunch of those templates down, I extracted them, I converted them to dynamic, I moved them to an admin panel where we can install them from, and then I updated a bunch of websites, which you can do with Move to Live. You can put the templates, which are now themes. They were templates before we turned them into themes that were dynamic themes that we put in the website so that we can switch through themes, which is great because all the themes can use the same batch of images, the same videos, the same contents, but the whole look changes. And then whichever images wouldn't be used on this theme are just not going to show up on the front anymore. And whichever other images that were created to handle certain themes, but they weren't showing up, now they can start to appear on the page like a new element. But it's cool because the system smartly created all the right images for all the right sections of all the themes that we've been working with, right? Let me just show you how crazy that is now. Let's say I went to fetch themes and I put in a bunch of the websites, okay? And I said, fetch the themes, okay? What does that mean? Well, let me just show you real fast. Let me take one of these websites, put it up. I don't even know which theme it is, but let's take a look. Okay, it's this theme, right? So I just got a bunch of these plastic car websites I've been playing with here. So this is a theme, right? Now, what theme it is has a name, like all the other themes. Now, let me just show you in the back end what this means. Let me fetch, okay? All right, it already told me for all those domains, these are the available themes that are in those admin panels. And looked them up because we didn't treat them all the same. We uploaded different sets to different places for different reasons, okay? So now that I know what's available, which one was this? This is bestprintableidcards.com, and that's bestprintableidcards.com. It was Roof Pro 4, right? I could switch it to some other theme, okay? And I'm not going to, but I would just do that. I could come in here, I could switch one, I could switch the next, whichever ones I want to switch. And I can make sure to cycle through them or whatever I want to do. I could make them all the same theme if I wanted to, okay? And then I hit activate, and in seconds, it's going to go whip, 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 whip. And then I can come back here, refresh, and it's a different theme. As a matter of fact, let me just see how well that works. It's Roof Pro 4. Let me change it to this. Okay, and let's see what it does, okay? They're all done. So I'm going to generate the HTML on that, TechnoBiz, okay? And it's going to put it here, which I really don't need to do except for just that one site. So I'll drop everything else for now. Generate is kind of like publish, the idea of publish, right? So it's going to go through and do the publish, right? And it's done. So now if I refresh, it's a different theme, but everything still works. The images are still there. When I scroll down, these are still here, okay? When I scroll down, that wasn't there because a section wasn't there, but it's there now. I'm pretty sure that's right. There might be I might want to generate images like for this section because it seems to be a new section. I think we just updated that theme into that website recently, and so we should rerun images to make sure that fills out all the possible ones. But you see what's going on? Anyway, let me do it again. So I'm going to take this thing back because really that's what I wanted, was the one it was on before. Activate. It's done, generate. And again, I only want that one website. So yeah, I'll just do that. And go back up, refresh, and there you go. I'm back, right? So whatever was happening before is happening now, okay? There you go. Yep, all the images are in place, so I would just have to run images again to cover the new section since we uploaded new themes recently, that's all. But How cool is that? So yeah, we can update websites at will. If we do a bunch of new themes and we want to update websites that have older themes, then that's a piece of cake. We can just fetch and switch the themes like I just showed you. How's that for cool? All right, that's enough for this video. I got a lot of little things I'm showing you to understand all the stuff that's happening in our system, because we're going to tie this to something big. And the next video, date time-wise, I am going to show you, is going to be in sort of an introduction to how important and how big this really is. It's bigger than it looks until you understand from a 30,000 point foot elevation view looking down. And I'll go over that in the next video that chronologically comes after this one. Okay,